Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the JMU Sports Report live on the Triple Threat YouTube channel. My name is Jeremy Lapidus, co-host of this show, with my buddy and co-host.
Haden Raymer.
Welcome in today. We have a lot of exciting things for you to talk about. First of all, before we get too far into it, the James Madison women's basketball Dukes are going dancing. Congratulations. We have officially punched our first ticket to the NCAA tournament since 2016. Congratulations to that entire team. I know they worked hard, and I'm really excited to see what they can do in the tournament.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was a great run. It was a lot of fun to watch all those games. It'll be exciting to watch them here in a week or so. Play some more games.
Absolutely.
Always fun to watch more games.
but we'll get more into that in a little bit. Hayden, I understand there are a couple topics for us to talk about this week. I'll let you pick. What do you want to start with?
Well, I mean, obviously this is our second episode. Gotta have our traditions, kind of set up. Gotta start with the Duke of the Week, as always.
Yes,
And
our
I think
very famous
our
segment,
very
the Duke
famous
of the Week.
segment, Duke of the Week. Uh, Now, I'm not sure. We haven't really discussed this at all. But I think we kind of have probably a similar Duke in mind.
All right, go for it.
I was
Surprise
going
me.
to say, I mean, it's kind of easy to. The decision is kind of made for you when you're named the Sun Belt Tournament MVP. And
Look at us being on the same page.
that's got to be Kiki Jefferson.
Absolutely.
Had a great tournament. Just absolutely balled out the entire weekend and week. It was just a joy to watch every single day, or every single game rather. She was just amazing. So
Yeah. She also was my Duke of the Week, Kiki Jefferson. You know, when you the regular season Sun Belt Player of the Year, and then you go ahead and you win Sun Belt Tournament Player, best player in the Sun Belt Tournament. It's hard to
yeah,
go against you. You know, it's Hayden McDaniel had obviously a huge
oh yeah,
championship game, but Kiki Jefferson was incredible throughout the entire tournament. That's not to say that McDaniel wasn't, but Kiki was, doing her thing like she normally does. And she's got at least one more game in a James Madison uniform before she moves on, hopefully, to the WNBA.
yeah. No, I mean it's a joy to watch her. Obviously, it's understandable. Doesn't want to continue her career in basketball, but if she does, I mean it'll be a joy to watch her. After she leaves JMU.
Absolutely. So she is our Duke of the Week. Congratulations. We don't have a prize for her, but we'll
Snaps,
work on
snaps for
something.
that, snaps for that.
Snaps.
As we always, classic snaps.
Yes, absolutely. So that's the Duke of the Week, Hayden.
Yes, it is. You want to head on into? I mean, you want to start? We're already talking about basketball. You want to keep talking about
We're already
basketball?
here. We'll just keep it
Just
going.
keep it going.
We mentioned the women's. Uh, they obviously won the
Yep.
Sun Belt tournament. They won all three of their games after getting the double bye and getting the 1 seed. In the tournament, they beat Marshall, and then they beat Old Dominion, and finally they beat Texas State in what was a blowout.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, Texas State is a solid team. The Dukes just came out with a different energy than they had almost all season in that championship game, and it was really fun to watch. Uh, you know, it was really fun to watch when you have Peyton McDaniel go for 30,
Mm-hmm.
Kiki Jefferson go for 20. You had commented about this. It was either you or someone else. I don't remember when we were talking women's basketball before. It's not often that you see both McDaniel and Jefferson go off in the same game. A lot of
Yep.
times it's one or the other. And I don't remember if that's you I was
That was
talking
me.
to. Yeah. And you were saying, this never happens. It's usually one or the other. And that, in the championship game, you see what happens when both of them are firing on all cylinders, and that is a scary team.
I mean, it just felt like, I've watched probably more women's basketball than men's basketball, and I feel like this is the first time all year watching them where it felt like they were like truly just hitting all, everything was, a well-oiled machine. It was just perfect. They were pretty much perfect. Uh, you know, on Monday when they won the tournament. Uh, and so makes winning a lot easier when you're playing perfect. And they did it at the right time. Playing in the championship game.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, when Peyton McDaniel ties a career high in points, sets a new career high in threes, and doesn't miss a 3-point shot, only misses one shot all game,
Yeah.
almost as a double double. It's gonna be,
Yeah.
dude.
No.
This team. I don't know where they're gonna get seated in the women's March Madness bracket, but I think this team could be a problem. I don't think they're gonna be. I think it's gonna be like from anywhere from like the 12 to 15 range. I think I was seeing.
Mhm.
Um, and that was a while ago. Uh, but if they could be a really big upset team.
Yeah. No. That's kind of all eyes are there now into the tournament. We won't know the seeding until Sunday, correct?
Correct.
So
Selection
probably next
Sunday.
show, we'll be able to talk
Actually,
about
I
it a little
I
bit.
actually don't know. I have to double check that because I know the men's have Selection Sunday. I'm pretty sure the
I'm
women's
pretty
also
sure
have
it's
it on
also
Sunday.
Sunday. Yeah. I'm pretty
But
sure it's
they
just a.
usually do their tournament like a day later, so it's alternating.
Mhm.
Um, so I'm not 100% sure. Let me double check that.
Maybe I can find it better than you, or quicker than you. But that's kind of all eyes are on that. It'll give me some good uh, entertainment over spring break to get to watch at least one JME basketball game.
Yeah, it's Sunday. I don't know why I was overthinking that.
I don't know
It's
either.
pretty simple.
But no, it should be a good game. I'm excited to see that bracket. Uh, Obviously, we can't really, we don't have a little crystal ball, so we can't really see kind of what the bracket might look like, or kind of make any predictions. Just because again, don't have the bracket. Uh, but we should be fun Sunday.
Yeah. So ESPN has them in bracketology the projected 13 seed
Okay,
right now. So
it's pretty good.
that's right in that range. That's a dangerous team to play if you're
Mm.
that 4 seed. Anyway, on to
Anyway,
the men's side. They also won a game. It was their first time winning a game since I believe 2013. Uh, the first time winning a quarterfinals game since
got it.
2013. In any format, they obviously had a really good season
Mhm.
and fell just short to South Alabama, who ended up coming in second place overall in the tournament.
Mhm.
The That first game against Troy, Terrence Edwards really came out and had a massive game.
Mhm.
Terrence Edwards, sixth man of the year, uh, came out with 27 points, 12 rebounds. He had himself a double double. He only missed 2 shots. Uh, Terrence Edwards isn't always the most efficient player from the field,
Mhm.
but in that game he was incredibly efficient, which is really good. And when we were going into it, we were saying the key for them was to have Sule or Offerum have a solid game, and that's what they needed to win.
Mhm.
Sule had 10 points, 6 rebounds in their win. He was really the anchor down there in the middle before he fouled out.
Mhm.
Um, and then I know that Mezzi had a solid game against South Alabama, but they just didn't hit their threes. That's what it was. They didn't take enough threes. They only took 16 threes, and they only made two of them. They
Yeah.
only made two threes the entire game. And going against a team like South Alabama, that is that's not going to be good, especially when you know they shoot 8 for 18 from behind the arc. That's a losing recipe right there. And sometimes the bucket is just closed for you. And it sucks that it happened in the semifinals of their conference tournament, but that's just how it is sometimes, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just, that second game, they just kind of didn't look comfortable, especially in the second half. They could never really get into the rhythm. I keep forgetting to look up this stat, so give me half a
They
second.
were 0 for 5 in the second
In
half
the
from
second
3.
half, yeah. No,
Yeah.
they just were not taking enough shots. Kept trying to, drive and get, inside, and that wasn't working either. And I think part of it, we were talking about the women's game. We were watching the women's game together on Monday, and a lot of those shots were kind of, bounced on the rim and then went in. The women were hitting that on Monday, and it felt like in that men's game, there was just not a single one of those was going in, which doesn't help either. At the end of the day, you kind of have to hit your shots, score points, and they just kind of didn't do that, which it happens. Just kind of the not the best time to have that kind of game, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, and that's something about this men's team that just happens sometimes.
Mhm.
This year, they were a little they were a little inconsistent. Sorry, they were a little inconsistent at times,
Yeah.
and that's what came and bit them in the butt right there. It caught up to them when they were clicking. They were clicking. They could
Mhm.
do with the best of them, but their floor was pretty low. We've seen them lose a game or two to Division 3 schools that they probably should have won, uh, and it just unfortunately it came back to haunt them.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, it's a low floor team, and they kind of just never had that moment in that game where they kind of the momentum kind of changes on their side, because I feel like a lot during the season, especially in conference play, they would kind of have that run. They would have the run where the momentum would completely shift in their favor, and then they would kind of just carry that through the rest of the game, and that just never came about. Which it happens.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what's gonna happen in this off season for them. I know it's not quite the off season because it's not professional, but uh, lack of a better word, their off season for the team. They have a
Mhm.
lot of seniors graduating. A lot of their big contributors are leaving,
Mhm.
and they're gonna need to find a way to replace them. Uh, they're losing Molson, and they're losing Morse and uh, Mezzi, uh, or I don't know. I think Mezzi's gone. I
Yeah,
don't
Messi's
remember.
on his last year's
Yeah,
eligibility.
and Sule also. Those are their big guys are gone. They're
Mhm.
gonna need to replace them. That's huge. And then their two guards that have been with this team for a while now. Really helped center it when you got new coach in the building. They're they helped turn this men's program around the last couple years.
Mhm.
Uh, so it sucks that they couldn't make a tourney with their time here, but uh, hopefully we can find people to replace them. We still have some nice, solid young guys. Terrence Edwards is a redshirt sophomore, so
Mhm.
he's got a bunch of years of eligibility left, and he won't be coming off the bench after this season, most likely.
Yeah,
Uh,
probably not. There. I mean, there got to be a lot of good transfers to come in here for him to still be the sixth man on this
right, and who
team.
knows? Maybe there will be, but it's going to be his team next year.
Mhm.
So we'll see what he can do with the reins.
Yeah. Do you have any other thoughts, basketball related, James?
No.
No, that's it. All right. You wanna talk about some lacrosse?
Oh boy, do I. Yeah, I would love to. The women's lacrosse team also had a huge week.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier, uh, they played the number 5 ranked Terrapins in
Mm-hmm.
Centera Park and came out ahead in that game 8-7. That is the second year in a row that they've beaten Maryland, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, in the latest poll, they have moved up to 8 from
That is
12.
correct. Yep.
Right? They also beat Ohio State pretty convincingly. It was like 17-9 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Isabella Peterson continuing to do Isabella Peterson things.
Yep.
Um, and that team is really good. You know, you can't be a top 10 team nationally without being good. Goes without saying. And they've got a bit of a tough schedule ahead of them in the coming weeks. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen with them.
Yeah. I mean, they even play tomorrow. They play against Liberty, which I mean, I don't think they're a top 25 program. I mean, I may be wrong there, but I do know Liberty's got a decent program there. So it's not like any easy matches for them coming up. I mean, I can take a look here. Taking a look. Sorry, I cannot type today.
Mm. Hold on. Yeah, but it is it's a tough schedule. You know, we've got John Hopkins, very famous lacrosse school. They're coming up. You got Florida and Virginia both at home. That's going to be a tough matchup. Excuse me,
Mm-hmm.
hold on. Excuse me.
I don't know why I turned it away from you sneezing.
Uh, Old Dominion's coming to town soon. That's not in the next week, but it's gonna be there's a nice little stretch of games here against some pretty big schools that have solid lacrosse programs. You mentioned Liberty. We play them. I think we play them every year. I know we played them last year, uh, and it was we beat them pretty easily. But it's a different team, and Liberty is solid at lacrosse. So uh, hopefully they can continue their run. Uh, their only loss is to the number 1 team in the country, and when that is and it's on the road, and
I
when it's
mean,
that way,
yeah. If, at home, they would have had it. I'm telling you.
right? That's the home team advantage right there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, what was the score?
It
Do you
was
remember?
14-9, only 5 goals.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, that's
that's the home crowd right there.
I don't know if quite that's quite right, but close enough. I think a really interesting thing is Kat Buchanan kind of stepping up as the goalie. Uh, Correct me if I'm wrong. This is her first year starting.
Yeah, no, she's been behind. Uh, we've had some like world class. We've had a world class goalie
That's
for
right. Yep.
the past. She came back for another year last year. Uh, she's a world class goalie. So Kat Buchanan's been stuck behind her for uh, all of the years that she's been here.
Yeah, and it steps up, and it's just nothing's changed. Just another. She's been amazing. Uh, you know, Very crucial part of this team right now. I think she won
Absolutely.
Defensive Player of the Week last week too. So snaps for her. But very impressive, very exciting. Go watch some lacrosse games, because it's awesome. Even if it's not out, not going out to Centera Park, watching it on ESPN Plus. It's fun.
Absolutely. It's always there.
I watch it while I'm at work on the clock. I'll just be sitting there at Xfinity just watching. I probably shouldn't be saying that, but I'm totally not doing that, guys. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Well, I just found the poll.
Oh, you found the poll.
Yeah. There it is. All right. North Carolina, Syracuse, Northwestern, Stony Brook, Boston College, Denver, Loyola, and then James Madison. We play Virginia and Florida coming up. Virginia's number 9,
Oh.
and Florida's number 10.
See, schedule's not easy.
Yeah, that's 2 top 10 matchups coming up pretty much in a row.
Mhm.
So, you've got a game against Liberty, then John Hopkins, and then
Just
March
two tough
18th,
teams.
and then you got those two. You also have a game against Rutgers later in the year.
Mhm.
They're number 17 right now. And John Hopkins, number 23 in the country. These are all top 25 matchups. Richmond is on the schedule too. Sitting at number 25. These are all really, really good teams. So it's going to be huge for them to come out and win these.
Yeah, I mean they play in a really competitive conference too.
Yeah, the AAC.
So it's not like it's just kind of a hop and a skip and you're in the playoffs. Like no, you're gonna have to kind of grind it out, and their schedule is kind of built for that grind. But hey, you battle. You go through the battles, and once you get to the tournament, you've already battle tested, ready to go.
Absolutely, absolutely. And if they keep playing this well, I'm sure they'll get an automatic bid to the or not an automatic bid, an at-large bid
Mm-hmm.
to the championships.
Yeah. There's
We'll
good
see.
sports here at JMU.
Great sports at JMU.
Amazing sports at JMU. Beat that adjective.
I think you beat me in the adjective game.
That's all I do.
That's a shame.
It's a shame. So anything else you want to talk about, Jeremy? Or look ahead, see what's going on next week.
Let's look ahead a little bit. We've got some baseball in town. We've got a game on tomorrow actually.
Yeah.
Versus VCU. Good matchup. Coming up, softball's got a couple games. I believe they are also at home. They're back at home. No, they're not. Yes, they are. That's what it is. They're back at home for their little invitational set of games on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, weekend. And then the lacrosse team, we just mentioned them. They're out tomorrow, but they'll be back on Saturday to play a top 25 matchup against John Hopkins.
Yeah. Just looking to see if JMU is it looks like they've fallen off the rankings, but I mean, it's a good softball team. Go check them out. It's good sports here. JMU, like we just said. Always a blast. I think there's tennis too. You can go over to the tennis courts, watch some tennis. Really exciting.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in to this week's episode of the. Ooh, I was totally about to say Triple Threat Show. To this week's episode of the JMU Sports Report. I have been your co-host, Jeremy Lapidus, joined as always by my buddy and co-host,
Haden Raymer.
Thank you so much for